In 2024, perceptions and attitudes toward different countries have continued to be shaped by a complex mix of historical events, current geopolitics, and cultural biases. The concept of hated countries is inherently subjective and varies widely depending on who you ask and where they are from. Nevertheless, certain nations repeatedly find themselves at the center of global controversies, sparking significant criticism and disdain. Here, we'll delve into the top 10 most hated countries in the world as of 2024. 10. North Korea. North Korea stands out as one of the most disliked nations globally. This animosity is rooted in a variety of factors, encompassing its political isolation, human rights violations, and aggressive military posturing. Under the leadership of Kim Jong-un, North Korea has maintained a rigid, authoritarian regime that exercises tight control over its population. The country's pursuit of nuclear weapons and ballistic missile programs has also heightened tensions internationally. 9. Russia. Russia finds itself bearing the brunt of international disapproval, becoming one of the most reviled nations globally. The roots of this animosity are multifaceted, blending political, economic, and social factors. Russia's ongoing involvement in conflicts, particularly its actions in Ukraine, has drawn widespread condemnation and severe sanctions from Western countries. These conflicts have not only caused immense human suffering but also strained international relations to breaking points. 8. China. China faced a significant surge in global criticism, leading it to be perceived as one of the most disliked countries worldwide. Several factors contribute to this negative sentiment. Geopolitical tensions have escalated, particularly in regions like the South China Sea, where China's aggressive territorial claims have alarmed neighboring countries and strained international relations. The ongoing trade disputes with major economies, especially the United States, have further exacerbated the situation, affecting global markets and economic stability. 7. United States. The United States has found itself increasingly disliked on the global stage, with many citing various reasons for their animosity. Several factors contribute to this sentiment. The US's foreign policy decisions have often been controversial and perceived as overly aggressive or self-serving. Actions such as military interventions, support for authoritarian regimes, and perceived double standards in international affairs have fueled resentment among other nations. The US's economic dominance has generated envy and frustration among countries struggling to compete on a global scale. 6. Iran. Iran has found itself increasingly isolated and unpopular on the global stage. The reasons for this are multifaceted, rooted in a combination of political, economic, and social factors. Iran's nuclear ambitions, contentious regional activities, and human rights record have all contributed to its negative image. The country's ongoing nuclear program continues to spark fears of regional instability and potential conflict, drawing condemnation from numerous nations. Iran's involvement in regional conflicts, particularly in Syria, Yemen, and Iraq, has exacerbated tensions with neighboring countries and global powers alike. 5. Saudi Arabia. In 2024, Saudi Arabia finds itself under an intense spotlight of global scrutiny and criticism. The kingdom has become one of the most polarizing nations, drawing widespread disapproval from various corners of the world. This surge in negative perception is fueled by a combination of controversial policies, human rights concerns, and geopolitical maneuvers. A significant factor contributing to this reputation is Saudi Arabia's human rights record. Reports of severe restrictions on freedom of speech, women's rights, and the treatment of dissidents have alarmed international observers. 4. India. India's status as a globally contentious nation in 2024 stems from a variety of complex factors. Political tensions, economic policies, and social issues have all contributed to its polarizing image on the world stage. Internally, India faces significant challenges such as rising communal tensions, economic disparity, and issues with human rights. These internal conflicts often make international headlines, shaping global perceptions negatively. India's foreign policies, particularly regarding its neighbors, have also sparked controversy. 3. Myanmar. Myanmar faces intense global criticism and is often labeled as one of the most hated countries in the world. This widespread disdain primarily stems from ongoing human rights abuses, particularly against the Rohingya minority. Reports of ethnic cleansing, brutal military crackdowns, and systemic discrimination have drawn international condemnation and calls for accountability. The military coup in February 2021, which overthrew the democratically elected government, further exacerbated the situation. The junta's harsh response to pro-democracy protests, including arbitrary arrests, torture, and killing of civilians, has sparked outrage both domestically and globally. 2. Turkey. It's important to approach such claims with a balanced perspective. While it's true that Turkey has faced significant international criticism and tension in recent years, labeling it as the most hated country in the world oversimplifies a complex issue. Turkey, under President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, has taken several controversial actions that have strained its relationships with other countries. These include military interventions in Syria and Libya, aggressive stances in the Eastern Mediterranean, and a deteriorating human rights record. 1. Israel. Israel remains a deeply polarizing topic globally. While some view it as a beacon of democracy and innovation, others harbor intense animosity toward it, making it one of the most hated countries in the world. One primary reason for this sentiment is the long-standing Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Decades of tension, violence, and failed peace initiatives have left deep scars on both sides and garnered widespread condemnation of Israel's policies, particularly regarding settlements in the occupied territories. Israel's military actions, such as airstrikes in Gaza, have led to civilian casualties and drawn criticism from human rights organizations and world leaders. So, there you have it, the top 10 most hated countries in 2024. Each of these countries has complex issues contributing to their negative perceptions. It's crucial to understand that these views are often shaped by specific political and social contexts, and they don't represent the feelings of everyone worldwide.